The Baseball Together Network presents the Seattle Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Jewell Young. And now, Seattle Baseball Together.
Welcome, Seattle baseball family, to the Seattle Baseball Together podcast. We are in season 3. My name is Brad. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm here with our guy, Jewell. How are you today, Jewell?
Hey, I'm doing good, Brad. It's great to be back for year number 3.
Yeah, it's crazy that this is the third season that this thing's been going on. It feels like it's just kind of become part of it, right? I guess after 3 years, it's going to. But anyway, thank you, Seattle baseball family, for joining us for what we are calling our monthly therapy sessions. But let's be honest, Jewell, I don't know how much therapy is going to be going on this year. I mean, last year there was a whole lot of celebrating after some therapy early in the season, right?
Exactly. I feel like it's going to be more venting than therapy.
Venting. I think we're going to have to get there. But I like that. I don't know. I think I like what you're doing there. Well, so we're leading off the season here. We're recording the night before, but today, the day this is released, this is the first day of the season, is opening day. And as they say in Richmond, it's the hope that kills you on opening day. Am I right?
Everyone's undefeated.
So, everyone's undefeated. Everyone's tied for first place. So I'd say 25 teams have hope at this point, right?
That's generous, but yes.
Yeah, but there's certainly a lot of hope in Seattle after last year, after the way things went late in the year. Solid playoff run. Gave the Astros all that they could take, despite a sweep, which is weird to say, but they gave the Astros more than anybody else did. So today we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about the Mariners 26. They're instead of 28. They start the season with 28, right? So they've got 26. A 28. Okay, so 26-man roster. That's right. Then they expanded to 28. So we've got a 26-man roster. We're going to go through. We're going to predict who we think might break out this year, who any possible weak points in the roster. We're going to give you our predictions for the team's win total, and then we will predict the final outcome of the season. And I think we both are on the same page here. I know I've been saying this for a few years, and Jewell has jumped on the bandwagon, and we hope the rest of you will. Okay, let's get started.
The whole time.
You've been here the whole time.
I've been there the whole time. Right. So the roster, Brad, what do you think of this roster so far? The way it's constructed, the offseason moves, there wasn't a lot that was brought into this team. You know, Colton Wong was brought in, Julio, Teoscar Hernandez was brought in. That's a big part of it. You lose Mitch Haniger, you re-sign Dylan Moore, you bring in Cooper Hummel, but you lose Kyle Lewis. You bring in AJ Pollock, you platoon him with Jared Kelenic. The pitching's pretty much status quo from last year. You know, the catching looks better because you get Tom Murphy back. Mm-hmm. And yeah, bench is deeper with Haggerty not playing an everyday role, and Gino back, Ty France back, and JP back. So what are your thoughts on this roster, all things considered?
Let's go down it real quick, just for anybody who doesn't know. Like you said, there was not really any change in the pitching staff. Let's do this. So starting pitching, we have Luis Castillo, we have Logan Gilbert, Robbie Ray, George Kirby, and Marco Gonzalez. Those are the starters. And then the bullpen, we've got Matt Brash, Diego Castillo, Matt Festa. Chris Flexen is coming out of the pen this year. I like that move. Trevor Gott, he's a new addition. Andres Munoz coming back, Penn Murphy, and then Paul Sewald. Catchers, like you said, we've got Cal Raleigh is the C1. He's the main guy. He's the catcher back there.
He's the man.
But Tom Murphy's back. The dude hit the weights. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Holy cow. Cooper Hummel is on the roster as a catcher as well. He can play outfield as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, he's kind of like a Dalton Varsho, where he can catch pretty well, but he's also hyper athletic and can play the outfield.
That's one thing I've noticed. I mean, I'm in Arizona, for those of you who are new to the show, and I go to D-backs games a lot, mostly to watch the other team. But they have a lot of guys who can catch and play outfield.
Yeah, it's becoming more common. I mean, Harry Ford, same story.
Yeah. So infielders, we got J.P. Crawford, Ty France, Tommy LaStella, Gino Suarez, and Colton Wong. Tommy LaStella and Colton Wong are new additions. Colton Wong bringing a Gold Glove with him. Outfielders, your 3 starting outfielders. You've got, of course, Julio Rodriguez. You've got Teoscar Hernandez. Very excited about that acquisition. We'll talk about him in a little bit. And then you've also got most likely Jared Kelenic. I feel like is going to be the starting left fielder. He's going to be the left fielder.
He has to be.
Yeah. So, and then in addition to those guys, you've got Jonathan Clase, Sam Haggerty, AJ Pollock, like you said, and Taylor Trammell, I think, is pretty much rounding out this roster at this point. But
yeah, Jonathan Class A made the opening day roster.
He's on there.
Huh. Interesting. I know. Well,
isn't Trammell injured?
Trammell and Demo are both starting on the IL.
Yeah, I think that's why Class A is there.
I'm surprised it's not Marlowe.
I don't know.
He had a bad. He had a really bad spring.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's talk about. Let's predict our breakouts. Who do you think on this roster, Jewell, is going to be the guy who really has a big year? And by that I mean like not last year. Like you can't say Julio, right?
Yes.
Like,
no, of course.
Yeah,
no,
Julio's gonna have a breakout year. No, Julio's a stud already. Who do you think is gonna have a big breakout year, better than what they had last year, an improvement over last year?
An improvement over last year, and this might be a hot take among the Mariners community, the CPOT family, but I'm on the Marco Gonzalez team.
I would love that.
You know, he looks healthy. He just looks like he took care of himself this winter.
Finally got some sleep. That baby's old enough at sleeping through the night.
Exactly. He got some sleep. He took care of himself. There's a reason he's a fifth starter or fourth starter. You know, he's experienced. He's played with this organization. He's earned it. And he wasn't super sharp in spring, but that's just Marco in the spring. You know,
right,
but
I'm not worried about it.
He's going to go out there every 5 days, eat up 6-7 innings, guaranteed, even if it's a 5-run ball. But we've seen Marco be really good, really dominant. Before the baby, he was awesome. We've seen him be upper echelon of pitchers in the MLB. So I'm in on Marco Gonzalez, you know, for a rebound, not just a rebound, but just like to really show everyone, like, guys, I'm part of that amazing rotation that's going to lead us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's the bulldog.
And he is the bulldog. And I think that he really earned that spot last year on the last day of the season where, like, we just needed to eat some innings. And he went out and he did it. He did an outstanding job of it. And I think that was, like, I don't think he saw that as, like, a snub at all. I think he saw it as, like, this team trusts me.
Yeah, and they do. They 100% do.
They certainly trust him, and I think that they should, because I want to see him bounce back as well. I'm going to stick with the pitching staff. I'm going to predict that Robbie Ray returns to Cy Young form. I don't know that he necessarily is going to win one, because I have Luis Castillo winning it, because he's going to be a monster this year, I feel like, because I feel like he's really comfortable in Seattle, and his ceiling is so high from what I've seen.
I'm right there with you. I have Luis Castillo as my AL Cy Young this year.
Yeah, but I think Robbie Ray is going to return to Cy Young form, and he's going to be a monster. He looks like he trimmed down just a little bit.
He did, yeah.
He's kind of, I don't know if he bulked up, but he's looking fit.
Looks healthy.
He's looking
he looks very
looks
healthy.
Really healthy, and he looks like he's ready to go. He didn't look like he was quite ready to go last year. He seemed kind of him, you know, about. Like we talked about it, he didn't look like he wanted to be in Seattle, but now he looks like he wants to be in Seattle. He's excited to play baseball again.
Exactly. And, you know, you just see it in the body language. I mean, he's adding pitches to his mix. He added the splitter.
Yeah.
Last year he added the two-seamer.
Two-seamer, yeah.
So
that was a game changer for him.
It was. So he's adding on to a repertoire that already had a great fastball and a great slider. He adds a two-seamer for the other way movement, and then he finally adds a downward movement pitch in the splitter, and it's a nasty splitter. Like that thing is nasty. And the best thing about all those are from the same arm slot, same way coming out of the hand, because they're all a version of the fastball, and they all look the exact same to the batter coming out of his hand. So
yeah, and that's going to be trouble for hitters. And it's crazy to think that he like has the record, or he holds the record for the best. What is the best strikeouts per 9? I don't know if he still does, but he did go into the last year.
Yeah, he still has a
on that this
ridiculous K per 9. Yeah, if I had to pick a guy from the offense, I'm picking Cal Raleigh. I think he's gonna have an even better season, being the C1
I hope
every single day.
I sure hope he does. You know, so we went up to the backfields a few weeks ago, and I was a little bit turned off by Cal. I'm gonna be honest with you. A few years ago, when the first time we met him, he was really cool with my son. He's really cool with Wilson. He waited for him to run over, because he's a little 5-year-old at the time. He waited for him to run over and get a signature. I think I've told this story before, but this time he had a different like swagger to him. You know, like it was like he kind of just like walked past all the kids. They were all asking for a signature, and I get it. He's busy. He's got stuff to do. He's a catcher, right? But he just like he didn't say like I'll get you guys when I come back or I'll get you guys later. He just walked through. Tom Murphy was the one who said, by the way, Tom Murphy he hit the weights. The dude's shredded right now. Tom Murphy was the one who said, guys, we got to go to work. We'll get you on our way back. But Cal just kind of strolled on through, and it's kind of like,
I think Cal's is just in a different place, like mentally, as he was last year. I mean, remember how much he struggled last year? So he's probably just really trying to clean up things going into the season, more preparedness.
He might be. And maybe he's just locked in. Maybe he's super locked in. And his aloofness was more of that than it was being like too big for his britches for the kids in the
because that doesn't, I mean, you see it in the way he plays. That doesn't seem like him, but he's probably just extremely locked in, trying to get ready, for this season, which he has so many expectations of him. So,
yeah. So I think Cal can have a big season. I want to see Ty France return to form.
Yes, 100%.
I would assume he will because he's healthy now. That elbow, I'm assuming, is 100% now.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, we should be seeing Ty France of old, which is what we need.
Which is an all-star. Weak points. Where are you seeing weak points in? Because I have one spot that I see as a weak point, but where are you at?
The one that comes to mind immediately is JP Crawford's health.
Yeah, he's fragile this spring. The soggy shoulder, the ball off the foot.
And I'll give him credit because I fouled the ball off my foot and my ankle, and that hurts like
that hurts like
I don't blame him. But at the same time, though, like it is a little bit of a concern because we felt like he was hobbled for most of last year, and that's why we saw the JP that we did, right?
Yeah.
And it was never confirmed. There was never news that came out that that said that he had surgery on anything like that,
I don't think he had any surgeries.
Yeah, nothing came out that said that he did, and I'm sure they would have announced it if he did. But at the same time, though, that doesn't mean that he wasn't rehabbing something,
Very true.
And that's just my own observation watching him. He looked like there was a little bit of a limp, but that might just be the way that he walks because he's so cool, right?
That's very true. That's very true. So, yeah, that's concerning because we don't have depth at that position that's ready.
Right.
That's quality. And the free agent market is Didi Gregorius and Andrelton Simmons.
And I don't want either of those guys.
And no.
Not after what I saw in the WBC from both of them.
Exactly. And so that's, incredibly concerning. For me, it's the DH spot. It's a void. It's a big black hole. And
it definitely can
I have
be.
one solution to figure it out.
Who's that?
Joey Votto. Have the Reds trade us Joey Votto, split the salary. It's $22 million. Split the salary half and half. He comes in. He gets to the playoffs for the first time in his career. Second time. He plays for a contender. The Cincinnati Reds are praised for doing the right thing by him, much like the Orioles last year with Trey Mancini. They let him go. He's 38, 39. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But why not let him go and, join a team that he can just hit on, back up first base, which we need for Ty France.
Right.
DH and just hit. You can still hit, especially with the no shift rules.
Yeah, his batting average is going to go way up with no shift.
He's a good hitter.
Because right now I think it's slotted as Cooper Hummel, right? Like he's
yeah,
and he's fine.
Cooper Hummel, Tom Murphy, AJ Pollock.
Yeah, AJ Pollock, that's true. I could see him.
But that's a platoon guy again. That's a guy that hits righties super well. Guy that doesn't.
Yeah,
no.
And I don't feel like the DH is a position you want platooned either.
No, you want a guy who can hit both sides and hit well and just be consistent. So
yeah, I think that's solid. I like that.
It has to be addressed. It'll be addressed by the trade deadline. I don't see how
it will be for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing is like I feel like Jerry Dipoto always pulls somebody out of a hat at the trade deadline. If he's going to make a deal, it's always like, whoa, wait, what? It's never somebody like we've been talking about all season, like, go get him. It's always like, oh, Carlos Santana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luis Castillo?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't think you were interested in Luis Castillo because your cards are pressed against your chest, sir.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I appreciate that, honestly.
No, I do. It makes it better for the organization, I think, as a whole. Gives them way more leverage.
Yeah. Yep, I think it does too. It's awesome. And I love those surprises too. Like the Hernandez trade, I was pumped about that
Yes.
move.
That one
Like,
was surprising.
Continue to be. I never thought that the Mariners would make a deal like that.
No, and that's an upgrade over Haniger because Haniger's hurt going into this year.
Already, yep.
With another issue with his oblique, I think it is.
A lot of guys have oblique injuries this year, I've noticed.
Yeah, that's kind of the hot commodity or season-ending injuries.
Or season-ending injuries, yeah. Yep. Okay. Now, let's go real quick. Let's transition over to win totals. So, last year, the M's won a grand total of 90 games. I think I predicted like 92 or 93 last year.
I think I was 90. Pretty sure I was close to 90.
Yeah. And let's look a little bit more at how they did last year as well. Kind of month by month, because there was what was it, May? That was really bad last year.
We don't want to talk about May of 2022.
Yeah, May was 10-18. May was 10-18.
May was so
absolutely
bad.
Horrible. April wasn't great. I mean, it was fine. It was 11-10.
Yeah, I was 500.
Right? Yeah, just a shade over 500. But then going on, it was June was 16-3, July was 18-7, August was 17-10, September wasn't much better than April at 14-12, and then October was 4-2, which is fine. But I think if you have May where you're just a shade over 500 and you're a little bit better in September, because things got pretty ugly there in September for a little bit. It was a little bit scary, looking like they're going to miss playoffs. You're just a shade better in both of those months. I think they can finish the season with 95 wins.
I'm with you. And I think the biggest opportunity that the Mariners have is going to be in April and May because of the Astros without Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
He's the heart. He's that lineup. They hum as he hums. They've hummed as he's hummed for years upon years now. But he's their leadoff hitter. He is their man. But they're not going to have him for the first 10 weeks of the season. And that's a big opportunity for the entire AL West, especially the Mariners and the Angels, to establish themselves. Because the Angels got off to a good start last year and then angeled it up. Those first 10 weeks playing against the Astros is going to be an opportunity to capitalize. The Astros are still going to be very good. I'm not going to disregard them at all, disrespect them, because they're a well-constructed team. But I think with a strong April, May, I'm with you there on 95. I'm actually projecting 97 and a division title because of the whole Altuve injury. I think that's really going to hurt them.
I think it could too. The thing is that team, and this is the thing, is the Astros got off to a really slow start last year, right? Like they weren't really humming until like middle of May, I think is what it was. Before that, I was like, "Whoa, wait, what's happening here? Like this isn't supposed to be happening at the Astros." But and at that point,
the Angels were in first place.
Yeah, the Angels were in first place by a lot, right?
They were dominating, and then they, fired their manager and everything.
Yeah, incredible. So what I say, 95. What did you say?
Sorry, I'm gonna go 97.
97. Okay, and that's what it's going to take to win the division. It's probably 97. Like I would like to. I have the M's winning the division.
I think it takes 90. I think it takes at least 92 to get the wild card.
It probably will. I think you're right.
Because
looking at last year, the Rays had 86 wins, and the Mariners had 90.
Yeah, but I mean, you have the whole AL East. You have the Orioles, Yankees, and the Rays all competing for it. In the Central, you have the Guardians. Basically, I don't really count anyone, but after the Guardians, as in
the Twins might give them a run, but I don't know that they will.
I think a healthy White Sox can.
I don't know what the deal is with the White Sox. The White Sox are so weird.
I know.
Like they should be winning a lot of games. But,
and if the Tigers can put it together, then I think the Tigers could send Miggy out respectfully. So it's a weird division. It's like the Guardians and everyone else.
Baseball again.
He's in a contract year, technically.
That's a big deal.
Because he can opt out.
And he had a good WBC.
Got a good WBC, and he can opt out and possibly make more than 20-something million.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a big deal for the Tigers. Okay, real quick. How do you see the entire West shaking out?
I honestly see the Astros winning the West. I think they're going to pull another second baseman out. Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, Jeremy Pena, Jose Abreu. Their group of guys they have is just excellent. I think they're going to figure it out even without Altuve. I think they win the division. And then I got Mariners, Angels, Rangers, even with DeGrom and Seager and Semien in fourth, because they don't have anyone else after those guys.
Right. They have Adolis Garcia, but
is he really that good? Because he's already 30, playing in his third year.
Is he? I didn't realize he was that old.
He's old. Yeah, I was looking deep. I looked deep into it because I was doing it for something I was writing, and I'm like, who's going to get extended by the Rangers? And I looked at Adolis Garcia, and he's like already 29, 30, going into his third year. So there's no chance he's going to get an extension.
Wow, yeah, he is. He just turned 30.
Yeah. So there's no chance he gets the extension. But then I got the Rangers in fourth because DeGrom is probably only going to make 15 starts again.
Most likely, yeah. That's the way that goes.
So Seager's going to be great. I think Corey Seager's going to be great. Semien's going to be good. But outside of them, they don't have anyone that's enough. So they're fourth, and I think the A's are just going to be a headache for everybody. I don't think they're going to be.
They're playing spoiler game 1.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be a 100-loss team. I think they're going to be a 90-loss team.
Yeah, I think you're right, because last
year
they lost 102.
Yeah, I think they're good enough. Like Shintaro Fujinami is going to win the AL Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
his stuff's legit.
Yeah,
his stuff's legit. I don't know if you watch him, but he has charisma. He throws like 100 miles an hour.
Nice.
He's ridiculous. He's got nasty stuff.
Well, I look forward to watching him. I haven't seen anything of his.
I don't want him to pitch against us because those are going to be rough games.
I'll just watch an A's game when he's pitching on MLB TV. See how that goes.
Yes.
So my prediction for the division, I do have the Mariners winning. I don't know the 95 wins is going to be enough. I'm hoping that I'm lowballing there with 95, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Astros, I know that like they had like the best pitching in the league last year, but they don't have Justin Verlander anymore, coming off his career year at 40 years old.
But they still have a very good Christian Javier and Framber Valdez, who both throw 190 strikeouts and sub-3 ERAs.
I understand that, but I've also seen teams with 2-3 stud starters lose or only win 92, 93 games, right?
Oh, you're right.
Because last year, the thing with the Astros offensively was that they lived and died by the home run. They didn't string together hits. They didn't get guys on base. It was a whole lot of solo home runs. And that's how they ended up beating the Mariners too. Was solo home runs, aside from one very important one off of one Robbie Ray, right?
Yeah,
because of
sure.
a walk and a hit by pitch. But anyway, no, I think the Astros, I think they won some games last year they probably shouldn't have, and I think they're going to step back. The Mariners will beat them out for the division, but the Astros will still make the wild card in second place in the West. And you've got the Angels, who I think are just barely going to miss the wild card.
I agree.
Mike
I'm
Trout
right there
is
with
hungry. You. He said that he's like, oh, I feel like we should be making the playoffs now. It's like,
did you see they launched like a whole social media? He launched like a whole like social media thing. Like he's like active on social media now.
Yeah,
and like promoting himself and like what he's doing and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and did you see his golf course?
Yeah,
that's crazy. And I don't know if it's like specifically like if it's all because he's like more active.
Have you seen him at Topgolf?
Yes.
Like the Topgolf videos? My goodness.
Yeah, the dude hits it like 700 yards. It's a mile. But no, Mike Trout's motivated. Ohtani is Ohtani. Anthony Rendon, as of today, is healthy.
But I hope then they move him to second.
Again, though, like who after that, right?
Exactly.
Taylor
Jared
Ward
Walsh.
is pretty good. Jared Walsh is hurt. Good. He is, isn't he?
I think he's hurt coming into the year.
So
Logan O'Hoppe, their catcher.
Yeah. But so I have the Angels finishing third, just barely missing the playoffs.
Okay.
And then the Rangers in fourth for
Yep.
all the exact same reasons you said, and then the A's just because they just don't have a good enough team to compete against
No,
this
they have
division.
a quadruple A team that they're waiting to move to Vegas before they actually
You know
invest
what?
in real talent.
Honestly, I think if the A's were in the Central and it wasn't the new balanced schedule, right? That it was like the old weighted schedule with your division. I think if they were in the AL Central,
I
they
think
would
they could
probably do
win it.
pretty well.
I think they'd be right in there next to the Guardians. Same
I
exact kind
think
of makeup
they'd
and
at least
everything.
they'd probably be at least a 500 team.
They probably would still have some of their pieces that they've traded away the last couple of years.
Yep, because they'd be competitive. They'd be way more competitive if that was
Yeah.
the case.
I agree. I
So
agree.
funny. Even in the National League Central, they'd compete. But
Agreed. Those
that's not
central
gonna be the
divisions,
case.
those are rough. Those are just small market teams that had a moment in the sun and then kind of stopped.
Well, you can't say that about the Cardinals, though. The Cardinals have had sustained success for like a century.
They have that.
You
Yeah,
know?
the Cardinals are the one exception in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
I think
They
the
really
Guardians are coming into that, but
yeah, they'll get maybe. Anyway, they have a good core right now, I think is what it is with them. They have a really good core and a great manager.
And they're paying guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing that we have, season outcome. Jewell and I both agree on this. This is the year, Mariners fans.
This is the
If
year.
you're not on it, jump on the bandwagon. Bring your friends with you. There's plenty of space right now.
Plenty
We got some elbow room. The AC's working. Jump on the bandwagon. This is the
standing
year.
room only. All the seats are taken.
This is the year that the Mariners win everything. They win it all. They're going to win the World Series this year.
It's going to be a big year in Seattle. I mean, it's a big year in Seattle between hosting the All-Star game, hosting the NHL All-Star game, hosting, I think, a World Cup game. I think there's an NHL thing too. Like everything's going on in Seattle within the next 12 months from now. And it's the first city to do that. And there's a reason, is because we have really high-end sports teams right now. And yeah, dude, the Mariners 2023 World Series champs, book it.
Well, this is the thing too. This is one of the things that makes me feel like this could actually happen this year. Is because there is an energy about this team that I have never felt or seen before. And part of that is self-induced, right? Like I've been amping myself up for this team. Like been anticipating Julio's call up since going into last year, everything. But there is legitimately something different about this team that we haven't seen since 2000, 2001.
Yeah. See guys coming in and just
there's an energy. Guys actually feel like they can win.
Yeah, like Teo's come in, like he's excited, he's roaring to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that him and Julio got to spend some time together at the WBC.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped them both a lot, honestly.
Helps them communicate, just playing out there together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Colton Wong looks great.
Colton Wong, I'm telling you, man, like another Gold Glove.
I think an all-star. I think he can be an all-star.
He really could be.
He gets on base.
He gets on
base.
Yeah, and I saw him. So when I was at the backfields, I saw him working on ground ball drills or infield drills with Perry Hill. It's like the dude, like he wants it. He wants it so bad.
He wants to win. He's been kind of deprived of that since he left St. Louis.
And this is the thing, is he was in a good organization with the Brewers, right? The Brewers have done well relatively in the Central. They've been competitive, but I think he's ready to get over the hump. And I think he knows that it's got the potential is there, certainly.
Yeah.
Mariners fans, get ready for a 2023 World Series. We're gonna party like it's 1999 around here, maybe 2001. I don't know. We're gonna party like 2001. Never before. We're gonna party like never before at the end of the season when it happens. Book it, like Jewell said. We're gonna get it. Jewell, remind them where they can find you aside from the Seattle Baseball Together podcast.
You can find me on Twitter at BallboyJ. You can find me on Instagram at, what's my Instagram handle? The Ballboy blog. I have two now because I have my other creator. Yeah, you can find me at BallboyJ on Twitter and the Ballboy blog on Instagram for all my baseball and sports content. So
there you go. Excellent. And you can catch me every Tuesday on The Big Show. is what we call it. It's the Baseball Together podcast. You can find that everywhere and on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, just stick around on the same channel because it's here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. Let us know what you think about what we're doing. We always appreciate feedback. You can drop us a line in our mailbag. There's a link in the description to the mailbag. Just select Seattle podcast, or you can just send it to whatever, because it all comes to me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
True.
You can just send us a message in the mailbag, and we will address your questions, comments, concerns, and also your snide remarks should you choose to send them. But Seattle baseball family, thank you so much for joining us for the beginning of this season. It's opening day. Go enjoy it. Have fun. Watch this amazing team. It's going to have an outstanding run. They really do feel special. This feels like a special year coming in, and we're looking forward to watching it. And we will catch you next month.